Hi, hey, and all those other greetings, my adventurers. I'm Jake Spence, welcoming you guys back to my gaming and unboxing channel, where today we have another high up in the sky unboxing for you guys. But I'm hoping it lowers itself a little bit because it's been precipitating outside. And by that, I mean it's been raining and snowing and raining and snowing on and off every 2 minutes. And I don't know if somewhere in that mixture is lightning. And if there is, and everything gets struck, then it's going to be all frayed and sad and just plummet to the ground, and it's going to hit hard. It's going to be sad. But besides all of that craziness, today we have a character from the Mario series, specifically the very first Mario Brothers game, and that character is whoosh! Paratroopa, or as Nintendo's been liking to call it, Koopa Paratroopa. Now, the Koopa Troopa line has been a very relevant species inside of the Mushroom Kingdom, starting with the original Koopa Troopas, which actually used to be the first and nearly only enemy inside of the original game, but then they decided, hey, this would be too hard for this. So they decided to create the Goomba. But essentially, Koopa Troopas themselves, you have the green variety, which are very stupid and just walk off any edge because they're just not paying attention. They're daydreamers. They're thinking about if they left their oven on, and unfortunately, even if they turned it off, it doesn't bode well for them. And then, of course, you have the red variety, which are smart. They went to college and they realize I did turn the oven off, and then they're able to turn around. Granted, either way, red Koopas sometimes do forget to turn their oven off. It's just the ledge thing that's important. However, while there are many varieties of colors, which are generally cosmetic, or, gold ones, which are coin, and blue ones, you do also have the Paratroopa line, which, you guessed it, is what happens when Koopa Troopas die and become angels. Dry bones are just the demon spawn of Koopa Troopas. I guess that's one way to look at it. But no, it's actually just, they have a growth spurt or puberty or something, and they grow wings out of their shell, which I'm not really going to question that science either, because the wings growing out of the hard shell, that just sounds painful. It really does. They have no cracks either, so I don't know. It's magic. It's magic. But this pretty much goes the same logic. The green ones will be like, and despite having wings, fall into a pit. And you get the rest. But the red ones, instead of going this axis, they go this axis. And they just float up and down ever so gently, I guess figuring, we can fly, so if we don't move left and right, then, we're pretty much good. But also, if Mario jumps on them, then they fall, they lose their wings, become regular Koopa Troopas. As long as they're lucky enough to not get hit into a pit. Now, of course, with such an old species inside of the Mario universe, these guys have a lot of history. Playing tons of sports, playing kart racing, being an item. They have pretty much done it all. They've even technically been in Smash. Not playable, but they were in Subspace Emissary. And of course, with the Mario Kart stuff, green shell, you just ricochet it all over the place. You have the red shell, which is homing, and then of course, the ever-loved blue shell, which will come for you and your family, even when you're not expecting it. As long as you're the rich and you're winning. If you're second place or lower, then you pretty much don't have to worry about it unless you're trying to protect first place. Then you and your family are screwed. However, the blue shell pretty much isn't gonna care, which is nice. It's also interesting that they made it the blue one, I think, to diverse around, having confusion with the red one, which is also homing technically. As well as the first time they appeared, they didn't have wings, but then they got wings, and their functionality has just jumped back and forth tremendously. But needless to say, I could go on and on about Koopa Troopas, Paratroopas, Koopa Paratroopas. Yeah, right. In the, also, one last thing though, in the Paper Mario series, in Thousand Year Door, they actually give them sunglasses and a collar, and it's super cute, because they're like Bowser fan club members. But the glasses also make them look like librarians, which is kind of bizarre. Either way, though, it's time to look at the good old Koopa Troopa Plush. Ta-da! Whoosh! Oh, dude, look at that 360! Good job! Pow! Yeah, but this is not my first time seeing these guys, as I originally got one for my sister, because we had this joke, and I really can't say it, but when we were younger during Double Dash, she basically jokingly said something about the Paratroopas, and it's just been a running joke ever since, so I got her a Paratroopa plush, like, years ago. So I have known about this guy, I just haven't gotten around to getting him until now, and I'm glad I did, because he's really cute. And I also do have 2 Koopa Troopa, so that's pretty nice. I can put him in the center, and then he can have, like, little guardians next to him. Or he can be guarding them. That would make more sense, because he would be a literal guardian angel. Yeah. But either way, let's look at this guy. So, immediately, I just want to say, this is super cool, because a lot of these plush are in a very static position. They're not really doing much, or they're like Chain Chomp and they really can't because they're just an orb. But for Paratroopa, they actually posed it in a flying position. Not only that, but you have a gold hamstring? I don't know. I always hear hamstring, but it's probably hamstring. But you can actually put this guy on a hook on the ceiling, and you can have him legitimately flying in the ceiling. If your kid or adult, no judgment, wants to just have a barrage of paratroopers flying on the ceiling, it would cost a lot of money, but you could do it. Now that I think about it, it would be really cool. Just make it like a bird migration pattern, or like bowling pins. That would just be super cool. But yeah, you can do that if you want. Of course, we do also have this clear guy, but if you're going to hang it, do it by this. Unlike plush like the Werehog, this guy isn't super hefty. So it's something you could probably hang up, even if it's a collector's plush. I'm not going to unless I got a second one, just because I'm more concerned about keeping it as pristine as possible, even though we opened up the bag. Alright, let's start looking at this guy physically, though. So first off, you do have his flying face. Whoosh. Sorry, this guy's just super fun to play with. I mean, he's been a mail carrier, too. Sorry, I'm trying. My brain is scattered, as you know. But looking at this guy, of course, because he does have the flying model, he does have a different mold than the Koopa Troopa plush. Because of this, his beak is also going to be a little bit different. It's also facing upwards, so it is smushed a bit on the bottom, and if you look at it like this, then it looks like he's getting ready for smoochy lips. So maybe he's a grandma or a grandpa that is just really ready to greet his loved ones, and he's been practicing for all this year because he hasn't been able to see them. But sadness aside, it does look pretty nice. You do have a lot of stitching there, and you're pretty much not going to look at that much. If you look at it like this, my God, does this guy look freaking beautiful. He looks ready for the skies. You've got his snout looking really good. His nostrils are embroidered on there and looking really sleek. Never thought I would say something's nostrils are sleek, but here we are. You really can't tell that they're embroidered either. Going on to the eyes, you have the regular way that the little buddy guys do it, where the outside has like a nice embroidered stitch line going like that, and then the inside is a soft white fabric with the black being the embroidered part. Again, it's super dark and you pretty much can't tell, but even when it shines, it just looks super nice. Going to the back of this guy, we have the wings. Now the wings themselves and the back, they're not very interesting. As for the back, it's just a general solid thing, just like the actual paratroopers. But if you look at it from the front, you do actually have these stitch patterns kind of looking like a flipper or a hand, which just looks super cool. And that is to match the Paratroopa wing pattern. That's something they didn't have to go into detail with, but they did. And that is why I keep constantly getting these plush, even just a regular plush like this, where you'd be like, do I really need a Mario enemy? Yes, you do, because Little Buddy did a good job. It's not sponsored, I'm just saying, they did a freaking good job. Now, since we were already looking at the back, we can look at the red shell. Because of the upwards position, this does look like it is a bit bigger on the back, where this isn't really the case. It's just positioning and angles that make it look a bit silly, but it still looks really nice, and it's still super soft. As well, you do have a darker red embroidering here to show you the shell pattern. Once again, something they didn't have to add, but they did. You do also have the white rim as well, being super flat, and it's probably just like one piece that's curled up, but there's no like puff in there. It's not like it's foam, and it's not like it could be stuffed. There are some Koopa Troopa plush that do just a flat rim, others that do like a puff thing. So it is kind of nice that they just did it this way, because I feel like it really works for this. Going back to the front, you do have his rib cage, which would be empty on characters like Dry Bowser and Dry Bones, the demon varieties. But on him, you just have these nice little stitches that keep his shell on. Of course, though, if it does get bonked off, then you see his underside and find out he doesn't wear pants. But he does wear a shirt. Who knew? That started in Mario World, by the way. And then, of course, you have the arms and the legs. Now, the arms are the general length of how they usually would be. Again, making it look like he's flying and being in these fists. So maybe he's getting ready to punch people at his sides. Whoosh. Not really sure, but they do look like the correct length, and they do look really nice. The cool thing, though, is that the legs, they might look a little bit short, but you realize that they're bent at the knees. It's going to be a better angle. They're bent at the knees so that you can actually have them flying, and then the shoes are stitched over towards the shell. So realistically, you could move the wings. Oh, that's so cute. You could move the arms, but moving the legs is something that you shouldn't do. Technically, you could cut these apart and you could move them, but that doesn't change the fact that the knees are actually just stitched that way with the fabric. And they do a really good job at making it look just very free. Other than that, though, you do have the actual shoes, which, again, some of these do this differently where it has an embroidery at the difference, but this one, it has a nice smooth transition, which I prefer this better, to be honest. And if you want to feel the actual shoe part, from the soft tops to the rough soles, you can do that without having any interruption. Last but not least, you do actually have a hidden tail right there. It is a little bit hard to see, and it is fairly stiff, but it is movable, and you can tuck it out there if you want, or you can have it tucked in. It doesn't really matter or make a difference, but again, they didn't really have to add this because on Paratroopers, you can hardly even tell that there is a tail anyway, but they still went and did it, and I love that. Have I mentioned the fact that I love this plush line? Because I do, and I'm glad that they keep making plush from these guys, because we keep getting knockouts like this, and we keep getting more and more. So, who knows? Let me know in the comment section below, what enemies would you like to see me do videos on? If you say Chain Chomp or Wiggler, we do actually have videos of those guys, as well as Goomba. Bonsai Bill we don't have because I bought that randomly, and I just never did a video on. But, hey, feel free to let me know. I believe I also have Birdo. And also, if there are any enemies that you would like to see as a plush that they might not be a plush, feel free to let me know in the comment section below, and if it is a plush, I'll let you know, or I'll find out myself. Who knows? We both might learn. But there's also just some really cool enemies out there, and I believe some that are more obscure, like the Bully, that don't have plush. Again, who knows? Either way, though, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Tanooki Tale Review. I really enjoy it because I actually really like this plush. He might be simple, but man, I just know right now, like, this glee is just foaming in my chest. I don't think those are the right words, but like, it's just emanating, lighting from my chest, because I just know if I was younger and I had one of these, I would have loved to play with it, because right now all I want to do is just be like, you know, just doing tricks with it and just moving. It's been so hard this entire video to just like do the video instead of just 15 minutes of just swooshing, Supermaning or whatever. But I think you guys have been here long enough. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button. Show us out there, but no love. Brother, mother, sister, father, iguana. I'll see you guys next time. Koopa Mail? Woo! Pow! I'm so sorry. I didn't think that pow would be so dry and loud. But it was, and now you have Paratroopa power in your face. Also some videos to check out, you know, to the left, to the left and to the right. Make sure to go check those out. And probably a channel? Maybe a channel? Maybe the Jake Spins archive. Maybe I'll finally promote my originals channel, but I haven't done anything in like 6 months over there, so probably not. Either way though, see you guys later. Keep it safe.